Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo.
Yeah. Welcome to another.
My bad, bro.
Hey guys, sorry, got a little startled from the popping of the Moscato.
It's a good time, y'all. Good time.
You know, happy Sunday, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Wanna celebrate everybody out there enjoying themselves, living life, good life. You know what I mean? We gotta give a special shout out to the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne the God. They gave us a shout out on national radio, showed us love.
Yeah.
They appreciated what we got going on, what we was talking about. So I want to send love and shout outs to them if they're listening. You know what I'm saying? I hope they are. You know what I'm saying?
Watching us.
Happy Sunday, y'all. We in the thick of thought season, so I hope everybody feel good. They out there
thought season,
giving the body, giving the some of the body that is gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like always, it's your boy Real Talk Morph. I'm gonna have everybody introduce themselves, starting to my right.
Oh, my bad.
You're my right.
Yeah, Sensei, a.k.a. Open Shirt Poppy. The shirt is open today, y'all. What's up?
Yes. And then our guest.
Yes, hi, guys. Vero G. I'm so honored to be here with you guys. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Welcome.
It's your boy Cliff Brockman.
Yes. So, as always, you know what I'm saying, we're going to discuss, some interesting topics and discuss what's going on, the climate of everything going outside. But you know what? Vera's a very cool artist. I got to rap with her earlier. She got a lot going on, so we're going to give her a couple minutes to plug what she got going on and stuff. So go ahead.
Okay. Wow, where we start? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, so many things.
Okay.
But first and foremost, I just want to thank you guys again for having me on the show.
Oh, no problem.
I'm a loyal fan since I guys met you on Facebook, actually.
Yeah.
And I love what you guys do. Keep up the great work and keep on what you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys.
Appreciate the love.
Also, I'm not sure if he listens yet, but shout out to RJ Barrett coming to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? That's
welcome
gonna be
to
the
New
future.
York City, boy.
But let's get back to Vera. I just thought
okay.
about that. But go ahead.
It's all good, baby. It's all good.
Yeah.
So as we speak, I have a couple things I'm working on as of gigs or shows. Actually, one of my shows I have is called the Vero G Spotlight TV Show.
Yes.
And I'm so honored with my big applause. Yes, I'm
Yes,
excited.
yes.
I had to put it in there. I'm excited.
Yes.
No, that's good.
No, definitely. We just actually we did our first show on January this year, and we've been doing shows since that time. We have amazing talent, independent artists we have on there.
Yeah.
And,
And it's on TV, y'all. So she's gonna let us know where we could consume it as well.
Definitely as well. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. Oh my god. Okay, so real quick. So it's called the Vero G Spotlight TV Show. We have a platform for all independent artists out there who want to get a shot. It's their time to shine. That's the motto of the show.
So independent artists out there, link up to Vero G, Diva and Diamonds on IG, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes.
And then also you can reach out to us, and then we'll plug you also to Vero G. So you know what I'm saying? We out here working, but go ahead.
Yes, definitely. No problem. So a big shout out to my management, JM Empire Media. Why am I messed that up? Sorry.
Yeah. Don't be nervous.
Ooh, you got me.
Take it easy.
Oh, I heard something.
That's right.
You're a little nervous.
Nah, that wine, baby. The sun's like, woo. No, but besides that, a big shout out to him, my amazing team, DJ Chef. He's amazing. I love him. Yeah. My team overall. Like I said again, it's a TV show platform for all independent artists out there. We actually have July 10th, the next tape before that show. And we also have another thing coming up after that. August 17th will be at the West End Lounge.
Okay.
And we're gonna have is affiliated with sponsored by J.K. Smith Entertainment.
Okay.
And we're working coincide together for two shows in one actually. The first one's called Heatwave Summer Showcase, which is it's a platform for artists to perform and stuff like that. And we also have another show that same night, which is called Rock the Mic Cypher /Battle. So with that,
I like the hip hop.
Do you battle?
No, I'd rather watch it. I want to be a part of it. I don't want to be ripped to shreds.
Shout out to my sister Nunu now. She's heavy in the battle community.
In the Smack.
Stuff.
She's the first lady of Smack.
You know URLs, them events?
I heard about that. Yeah.
So
okay.
Music-wise, would you say you're more of a singer, more of a, like, how would you describe your music?
It's like a blend. I don't want to say like particularly one genre because I like to like always mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would say just more hip hop, R&B, pop. So just a little bit of collusion of everything in there.
Okay. Cool.
Definitely.
So we're gonna jump into the show. Before we jump into the show, another thing we noticed during the week, me and Open Shirt Poppy watched the draft.
He was out there watching
And then
the draft.
Oh,
this was the first time, right, that we watched the NBA draft, and there was so many fathers in the young men's lives.
That's
and
amazing. Yeah, that's a big
and
deal.
as black men, we're so proud. You know, before that, hold up. Got a shout out to Greedy Gut. She was supposed to be here, but things happened. But she'll definitely be on the next time. Greedy Gut, we miss you. We want to see you back on the show as soon as you can. So shout out to
100%.
But
Hopefully your mom gets better.
yeah, to back up to what we was talking about, it was so many young men who fathers was in their lives, and these young black men were crying in their fathers, arms and stuff like that.
But
and
hold
as
on.
black men, hold on.
Okay.
As black men, we don't get to see that image, right? Because the stereotype is that black fathers are absentee. So
stereotype,
these are black fathers who build up their sons to be future millionaires. One after the other, after the other, after the other. And I do feel like the presence of their father is going to help them most likely not be taken advantage of, because a lot of athletes squander their millions. But go ahead, what you was going to say?
I'm glad you said that, the stereotype, because that's what it is. It's just a
Stereotype.
stereotype, all right? There's plenty of black fathers in their children's lives,
Yes.
all right?
It's a
They
fact.
try to perpetuate that, but it's not true, okay? I mean, you have issues in every ethnicity with fathers and stuff like that. Fathers always get the short end of the stick. no matter
Exactly.
what,
Father's Day was
you know
the
what
week
I'm saying?
before, and the buzz was a little
It's
kind of weak.
different.
But you know what? Another thing I want to point out too is that stereotypes, right? I feel like the stereotypes of other races don't get magnified as much as our stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? So like the black father not being there, there's memes about, oh, this is me and Father's Day with the guy empty kind of thing.
Wow.
And we make fun of those kind of things, but other people's stereotypes don't get magnified that way.
But the beauty of the draft was not just as having the father's presence, is that how the parents invested in these kids from early, investing, which
Sacrifice.
is key.
Sacrifice.
Because like a lot of times, sometimes me being a new parent, right? You just want the best for your kid, but when you seen the guys, everybody that wanted, they was crying because they know the sacrifice and dedication
That their
of their
parents
father,
have.
what their father did for them. They took some of the fathers were pro athletes. They took a step back and said,
Said,
you
"I'm
know
not
what?
trying
John Morant's father was supposed to
You
go
know-
overseas,
Wow.
and then his son was coming, and he said, "You know what? I got to be there for
And
my
he said,
son."
Josh said, my father is my biggest hater,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that motivated
But to
him.
fuel
He did.
him, yeah.
Yeah, to fuel him.
It's like a lot of parents, they took a step back and made the sacrifice, which was a beautiful thing. And I like ESPN actually gave them the time and segment to let them get the dedication,
Yeah.
because it could have easily just been, okay, your father want to say a few words and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But ESPN seen something special going on, and every person that
They
came
was
up with
all
their
mad
father,
emotional, yo.
Yeah,
I never
ev-
saw, like, the first
everybody
3
who
picks
came
all
up
cried.
with everybody who came up with their father, even the moms, they let ESPN let that dedication be known, and which was important.
I want to wrap this up only because we're like leaving our guests out.
No, I'm just
but I want to say,
chilling.
but I want to say this one thing, and then we'll get into the show. But another beautiful thing about that imagery was we allow black men to cry on TV to show emotion.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful thing. It wasn't like, we didn't emasculate them and make them feel like they was weak. We allowed them to cry in their father's arms, right?
Yeah,
the man
100%.
that was supposed to protect them all their lives, or until they was adults and able to protect themselves, was there. And I'm always about imagery, right? Because what we project is what people consume, right? So if we have more positive images out there, that's like role models. Now it's a kid out there like, man, you see what R.J. Barrett and his father did? You see what John Moran and his father did? Garland's father did? Me and my dad could do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Because as positive images get less and less, especially in the minority communities, we replace them with reality TV. We don't have Cosby shows no more, Living Single and things like that. Even girlfriends
we
on
need those
BT and
images.
stuff like that.
Definitely
We
do.
lose those. And what
need
do we replace them with? Ratchet TV. And get your money how you get it. But kids are watching, right? There's more kids out there who want to be a Kardashian than they want to be like what the Cosby family is, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what we replaced it with.
It's a fact.
But we're going to get into the show. The first topic, we're going to talk about talent versus image, which kind of plays into what we're talking about, where it's just like sometimes the image, a woman looking a certain way, guy looking some way, will perpetuate and further someone's career over the talent. And what made me think about this topic was, I was listening, shout out to Power 105, and then also I saw it elsewhere, where Beyonce's father himself said that
Yeah, I seen
if
that.
his daughter wasn't light-skinned, her career wouldn't have been as good.
Wow.
Kelly Rowland is very talented as well, but her being a brown-skinned woman, she don't get that kind of shine.
He said, yeah, that's why she wasn't as big or something.
That's why she
like
wasn't
that.
as big, which is crazy, right? But we're still in a day and age where image sometimes, is projected more than talent. I've been in a situation where I felt in my group of what I was doing, I had as much talent, but I'm a big boy. I wasn't quote unquote sexy like the other people and stuff like that. And my talent, what I brought to the table, was kind of pushed to the back and wasn't appreciated. So it just made me think, like, sometimes we are stuck with talent not being recognized as much as image. So the first sub question on that topic, like we're talking about talent versus image.
What's the rapper who had a video shoot recently, and they
Tory
tried to
Lanez.
replace Tory Lanez? Right?
Yeah.
They tried to replace the dark skinned lead chick in the video with a
With
light skinned
light-skinned.
chick, and he wasn't having it.
So the first question is, recently Beyonce's dad said that Beyonce's success would be dismissed if she was a darker girl. It's also stated that Adele would have been an even bigger star if she was a size 4 versus the size 12, 14 that Adele is, right? Mm-hmm. We've always heard that, like, wow, if Adele looked like Taylor Swift, she'd be even a bigger global star, which is sad.
I don't know how, because she's huge.
She's huge now, but
No pun intended.
but Adele herself said that.
She's a big
Like
star.
she's been singing for such a long time, a lot of doors was closed on her because it was just like, wow, she sounds amazing, but that's not just how I wish she looked a little different. So of course she got passed up a couple of times until she broke through.
I became a bigger fan of Adele when I saw her rap. She was rapping Nicki's verse.
And
I
car
think
car something karaoke.
Oh, she was killing
What is
it.
it? Is it
Carpool.
carpool
Yeah.
karaoke?
Okay.
So just to repeat the question, what are your thoughts that Beyonce father saying that she was dark skinned, she wouldn't have got the same love, or if Adele was a size 4 versus a size 12, 14, whatever size she is. So what do you think? You're an artist.
Yes.
You proudly proclaim being a BBW and stuff like
plus
that.
size, curvy,
Yes.
community,
So-
represented, baby. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So you tell us how that has affected your career, and what do you think about that?
I so fully understand what you're saying, with your point of view as being, a woman in general. I mean, in the industry, we get pushed a lot aside because, we're women and we get overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
So especially being women of my stature, we're basically being plus size, and for example, my voice, they'll mix it with somebody who is maybe a size 8. Oh, that's perfect. We want this image, we want this look for young girls out there to be like role models for that. But
Yeah.
no, that's not modern day.
Yeah.
Women like my size are like the normal. That's the norm.
That's what the average size in this country is 16.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you let the media, the average size in this country is 16. But if you let the media tell you, you think it's size 4, size 2.
Or just social media, and especially you let that tell you. You think you got a waist like this.
Go ahead.
I think the stereotype about the images is important, but if you talented, eventually it's gonna come to light. Look at Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott was
But Missy also went through that. But go ahead.
Missy Elliott, when she first started, she was behind the scenes. A lot of people didn't want her in the front because she was big and stuff, whatever. But if you're that talented and you believe in yourself, people is gonna recognize it. It's gonna come to light.
So
it's gonna come to light.
No, yeah, but it's a hard. Trust me, the ceiling hits first.
Much harder.
Yeah, it's definitely much
So
harder.
let me
but
give you
it
an
definitely come to light.
example, and please don't attack me for saying
I'm
this.
not. Go ahead.
If J-Lo looked like Missy with the talent that J-Lo brings to singing, J-Lo's a great dancer, but the talent that she brings to singing, would J-Lo have blown up like
I
that?
still gotta agree with you on that.
Right?
100%.
I was hoping you being Latina, you didn't attack me for that, but...
No, 100%. I agree with you.
And my wife's a big J-Lo fan, so I'm probably gonna get my ass whipped tonight. But I said
Are
that
you
to
saying J-Lo is not as
J-Lo's
talented as you would think?
J-Lo's talented, but to me,
Her
J-Lo singing is not.
I wish we had sound effects.
Well, she didn't start out singing. She started out dancing
Yeah.
on Living Color.
yeah.
So that's her first
But
thing.
like you said, Missy was writing and creating for people for mad long before.
But maybe
she got
Missy
started.
didn't want to be in front of the camera either.
No,
you
she
gotta
wanted
remember
to.
that.
She wanted to. She said that. She wanted to, but
They
a
tried.
lot of she was so talented. A lot of people that I was working with was like, just do this. And then one day she just like, I'm just gonna do me. And
Yeah.
then it worked out.
Yeah.
And now
But there's plenty of times. Another example from the early '90s, obviously, will progress. I'm doing it well.
Oh,
that was a big girl who
remember
vocals
that?
was on that. That was a big girl.
Oh,
I was a
I remember
daddy
that.
and I know your name. All of that was a
Throwbacks.
big girl who did that, right? But in the video and everything, they had these small model girls singing her line,
I remember that. Wow.
right?
So
So
you
it's,
feel they should have had her in the main role in that
but
video?
that's how
No, she could have been
when the
singing,
talent
yeah.
the talent is being pushed back versus
Yeah.
image. Even Dream Girls, right? Jennifer Hudson's
Jennifer Hudson,
character
yeah.
was the strongest voice.
Effie.
Effie, right? But they
Loved
pushed
it.
the Beyonce,
Yeah.
The image.
right? Because of the image.
Well, let
kind
me
of stuff like that.
answer it.
Yeah.
The question basically, it's clear. Like it's no, there's no questioning it. But that's a fact. It's always been that way.
So the question is, are we progressing?
Exactly.
Do we still got much more to further?
we absolutely have further to go. But have we progressed? Yes, because you have people like Adele's, for example, who may not portray the cookie cutter image that you would expect, but you can't deny her talent. And I must say, it's more of a female thing because as a males, it don't really matter how you
Right,
look.
because
it don't matter
even-
how you look.
Yeah,
Your
because
talent is.
A big guy like me,
there.
I could be presented as a teddy bear, right? So some ladies are gonna love the teddy bear kind of stuff like that. But we're extremely hard on women, right?
usually for the
Because we
women.
sexualize women in everything that they
That's
do,
everything
no matter
that they
what.
do.
And that's a problem because a lot of talented women are get pushed to the back because we quote unquote she's not sexy enough or her sexiness is niche or niche or whatever you want to say it, right?
I mean, I feel like we made progress, but we're not 100% there yet. It's still a work in progress in general because what happens is right now with social media, you don't really need anybody for anything. You literally could wake up and start your own empire.
Yeah.
But it's certain levels when you do want to talk to them labels and stuff, they're gonna be like, you know what? No disrespect, you gotta lose 40, 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Because if they're gonna, it's a gift and a curse. If they're gonna invest millions of dollars on you, saying you need to lose 40, 50 pounds, you might feel like, who's this person to do it? But it's an investment. It's the same way with health insurance when you get hired for a job. Sometimes a job will look at you funny because they be like, listen, you a big dude. The insurance might be crazy on your part because that you might not
Yeah.
get hired. It's just something.
They do insure you.
It's something that it'll never go away. But with social media, the beautiful thing about social media, you could wake up and be a star yourself.
Yeah.
now.
But
So,
but
the
the
we are
problem
making progress though.
You think, and this is what I want you to think now. So with the idea that you can be a star yourself, right? But now with social media opening up the platform, now there's more platform for everyone. So it's easier for a Cardi B, someone who looks like Cardi B, to have that talent. You look kind of good. You're funny, personality, boom to the front. It works twofold, right? Because now everyone has a platform, but it's still now it's more people easier to be discovered that way.
But
So
think
you
of
still
it like
compete.
this. Think of it like this. What's the oldest selling
Profession, prostitution.
profession? Okay, so when bread and water won't sell, sex will. Right?
100%.
That's a fact.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
It's always gonna sell. So, and there's a lot of talented people out there.
Yeah.
A lot of talented people. So I'll say, well, what's gonna get you over the next person? Because y'all both got talent. Oh, you sexier.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not only I can profit off your talent. I need something that's gonna take me to another level.
That's a
So
fact.
your
That's a
sexiness
good
is
point.
now what the company is like. Okay, we can promote her talent.
Yeah.
Because talent is there. She's great voice. But now we can also promote her sexiness.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Which
That's
is
what
good.
it is.
But so let me bring it back to you, Vera, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
my issue that I have with this, right, is we just put out the fact that the average size in America is size 16, right? Which means there's more size 16s
Shout out
than
to the
size
big
2.
girls.
So,
Shout
but
out.
my question is, right? Why are we as a society
Yes.
so obsessed with something that we don't look at? The next question I had is,
Okay.
have we as a society been totally obsessed with image over talent, i.e. the Kardashians, right? Because the Kardashians don't look like the average woman,
No,
but so
out of
many
proportion.
women who don't look close to the Kardashians are obsessed to try to be a Kardashian. So why are we letting the representation that's not necessarily representing us as a whole drive our ideal. So.
Honestly, I say it's just false advertisement. Like I said, these young girls out there, they idolize these girls. Like you said, Kim Kardashian, the family, they're all made of plastic, guys. Like, honestly, down the line, they go home and they have, like, let's say, like, weeks of surgery, and they have to go home and rest. And the people don't see that behind the scenes. They just see, oh, it's just a front. Oh, I liked it because she has a big ass and nice body shape, and I want to be just like that when I'm 10 years old. 10 years old, you just want to focus on school and stuff like that. Yeah, I
don't think people remember, if you watch the Kardashians, what Kylie looked like before
she changed. Yes,
there's no way genetically what Kylie turned into now. Kylie's beautiful, but if you saw her when she was 12, 13,
she had no
there
lips.
was no way she would turn into what she turned into. And she went under the knife. She went under the knife. We're talking about 14, 15 years old and got so much done, which is scary.
And the mom is
right, because Kylie's 21 now, 22.
Yeah, of course.
Kylie's a billionaire, right?
Yeah.
21, 22, billionaire is beautiful, but it's just like at 14, 15, she started having procedures done.
That's wrong.
How do you tell your little girl, like you have a teenage little girl, and thank God she don't have image issues that I know of. You have a little girl that's way baby. But how do you as a dad tell your little girl, like, yo, you're beautiful the way that you are, when people that they could technically aspire to started having surgery at 13, 14.
And has become a billionaire because of it.
A billionaire because of
That's
it.
the tough part.
Don't get it twisted. Kylie's a hustler. Kylie used her shine to build, and shout out to Kris Kardashian, the moms, but it's still driven
it's hard to promote
on
beauty
imagery
products if you aren't showing.
But it's still
what
built on
think
imagery
beauty is.
that we're making kids get bullied about because they don't look like.
Yeah.
That's a misfortune.
Well, let me tell you, to answer the question initially, what I must say is, why do we admire entertainers and stars and stuff, right? Because they're supposedly something that we're not. Yeah. So to answer your question about, because just the average size of a woman, or the average size in the country, period, size 16, whatever, people don't want to be that. Yes, that is a fact.
Yes.
That's the average. They want to be
That's
like
a good
the stars.
Point you brought up.
The
That's a good point you brought up.
because they have all the money. They're in front of the cameras.
Yeah.
You know, they look a certain way, whether it be work or no work, whatever. So it's like people like, oh, I want to be that. You know what I mean? So that's why they make these changes and stuff. And it's hard to answer your other question. What do I do to encourage my daughter in this plastic society? I constantly tell her she's beautiful. I constantly tell her I love her. You know, she's very because even when I was younger, I had a lot of acne issues or whatever, and it's passed down.
Did
to
that
her.
bother? Did that bother you? Because this is my best friend, right? Because you didn't know.
He always goes personal.
No. This is my best friend, right?
Okay.
I'm talking about from kindergarten to now, right?
30 years.
But what I say is, I was with him when his acne stage and stuff like that, but I never felt like it bothered you like that.
Well, no, I mean, like anybody else, I had times where I'm by myself and I was like, damn, this shit look bad, whatever, you know, but I was always a confident person.
Yes.
And I was always a jokester, so you gonna come for me for my acne, I'm gonna make you feel bad.
That's what saved me as a big boy, right?
I'm gonna clown you.
I'm witty, so you crack jokes on me, I crack jokes on you and stuff you didn't think about. But that's the survival thing.
And it's harder for girls, though.
But
that's what I'm saying. It is harder.
The thing about it is, society is and especially when you're raising a daughter, like, you know, I would tell my daughter, you know, you gotta look and feel what makes you feel good about yourself at all times, because society, you always want to look like somebody. You always it's social media, it's the TV screen, it's everything. You could tell your daughter a million things that you want to go boom, but it's like everybody. If she has a friend that's going, I'm going to get plastic surgery, I'm going to do this, whatever too. She might want to follow that friend, whatever. You just gotta encourage her. Listen, love yourself for what you got. Just be thankful.
I wish Greedy Gut was here, because Greedy Gut pushes the little butts of attitude kind of movement and stuff like that. But it's about the natural look. So let me ask you a question. You're self-proclaimed BBW. Your personality is so bubbly and stuff like that. What example or what you've been through that allowed you to but accept yourself, exude that confidence, accept yourself the way that you are?
I say honestly, it was in the past years ago. I was bullied, you know, because I wasn't always skinny and average, you know, looking woman. I mean, even child and then teenager. Forget
Kids
that.
can be cruel.
Don't get me started with that. That's the worst. But no, going back to that, I mean, I realized I utilize that in my music and in my poetry, and down the line, I realized after having a child, you know what? I'm not perfect, but I have to love myself as a woman. Yeah. And if a man's gonna accept me, he has to accept my intelligence before anything. Yeah. And then besides the outer beauty, that's fine, but it has to be more both inner and outer beauty. Yeah. And that's why, as a plus size woman, that's why I realized. And then I started doing modeling, and that's what the confidence was building up. I said, wait a minute, I'm a woman of my stature, my size, and everything, and I could rock this outfit. I'm gonna kill it. Yes. So that's why ever since doing modeling, it gave me the boost that confidence that women, we need that. Not just for modeling, but in general. As women out there, we have to have that self-esteem up and about. Yeah. We can't be cocky about it. We have to appreciate ourselves and love ourselves first.
I got a PSA.
Definitely.
For the women out there. Listen, ladies. It ain't gonna last forever. All right. Yes. So
you have a window.
If you are empty inside, come 45, 50. It's lasting a little longer now, maybe 50, 55. Unless you're going to be getting these surgeries annually, it's not you're going to look bad, but you're going to get old. We all get old. It's a fact of life. So you got to have more substance
There's something called gravity.
You got to have more substance to you, because them young girls is going to constantly keep coming up. And if you want your man to value you more than just what you have to offer physically, you better have something inside that actually attracts him. Yeah. And you know what I mean?
I have to add something also to that. I think like women that have gone through plastic surgeries for a certain amount of time, they're not happy inside. Yeah. I feel like they feel, like you just said, empty. They feel like, well, I got to fix this, then I got to fix something else. And then what happens, they go to the show Box. Have you seen Botch? I think Botch, on the E. And you see them, they look deformed. Why? Because of years of surgery. They invested so much money, they couldn't utilize themselves for therapy.
Look at Little Kim. She's
just going to talk
about no, not her, man.
And she's so talented.
Yeah, she was so beautiful before any surgery.
And then
any surgery.
She's still beautiful in her own way, but it's just like the years of it.
She look crazy. She look crazy.
She's so beautiful in her own way.
She's a nice person and all that. And she was the first. Honestly, she was the first female that said, listen, I'm fucking and this is what I'm about. You know what I mean? That was her attitude.
But she exuded confidence on those records.
She looked crazy now.
Yeah. But you can see she wasn't that.
She looked crazy.
She did all this stuff.
I also blame that on society's standards, right? She felt her nose was too rounded, so that was the first thing she did. But you're a black woman. That's our features, right? And then after that, it just becomes this, that, the other, and then you start looking like you can't even recognize yourself. Yeah. So the last question on this topic, talent versus images. Do you think talent will ever surpass image when measuring the impact on society?
Who's gonna take that?
I mean,
we'll have you, right?
Okay, me? Okay. Yeah. Honestly, I think overall it will. Because like you mentioned before, talent, if you have a beautiful voice and you could oversee the person outside of it, then you know what? End of the day, people are going to appreciate that more and you're real about it. You know, image is nothing. I mean, just for the moment, it's just temporarily. Yeah. Like you said, when we get old, everything falls apart, right? Yeah. So for the moment, just if people have talent and A&Rs and stuff like that, they hey, I'm gonna put this person on. I'm gonna put them on this label. Yeah. You know what? Give them that credit. Yeah. You know, that's beautiful. You know
what? The industry is not.
I know.
The we know how it is.
Never gonna change. It's so corrupted.
But the industry is not.
But
I know. But
with the transition that I do see, right? Because I see to myself like that. Like we was talking about last week about like following stuff on Instagram and how you follow like, you know, the girls with her assets out and stuff like that. God. But then after a while, you kind of become numb to it. You kind of just like, dang, she looks so fake. It's not impressive anymore. Exactly. Like your primitive nature's still kind of watch the video like, wow. But then after a while, it just becomes like, what's special about her?
I think talent would eventually, just because pretty soon you're not really gonna have to answer nobody. Even with record labels and stuff, where everything's going streaming. So it's basically how you're not, even though Rihanna's a terrible singer, but she's not sexy.
Terrible.
She's terrible.
Whoa, don't talk about her like
don't have the Navy come for us, right? Don't have the Navy come for us.
Listen, no disrespect. I seen Rihanna
I'm part of the
at
Navy.
the Barclays, and like front stage and everything. She cannot sing. But she has real sex appeal. And with sex appeal, you overlook certain things. Like, dang, man.
Maybe she had a bad day.
No. Trust me, she cannot sing. Wow. But what I'm saying is, pretty soon, everything streaming, your talent, you're just gonna have to have talent pretty soon, because everything is streaming and the network is going different. So images is not gonna really matter. So if you're just a talented person and you got good music out, you're gonna be successful.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm gonna be honest. With eons away before when talent is more than the imagery.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
But I feel like we're at the point in time where it's just like, you know what, I can look at a singer and she's not the most sexually attractive, but her talent is so, like, I love Adele. I'm a big Adele. Beautiful. I can't. Her tickets are so expensive. Every time I go to look for the tickets in decent, it's already at $700. I'm like, I love Adele, but I don't need Adele in that kind of way. But I say that to say the talent will surpass. Yeah. We still have ways to go. But I also feel like we have to tell little kids, like, look, don't fall in love with imagery that's not real. Exactly. We got to learn to love what's natural. Like, to me, now when I see a woman who's beautiful, have a little chichos and stuff like that, I appreciate that, right? Because I feel like that's what God gave her. Chichos is like love handles, little fat, and it's like Spanish food, right?
Chichos, muffin top.
Not Cheetos. No.
That's what happens when you have Americans on the show.
Oh my God.
But, wait. Hold on. Let me get to. I just want to say.
Okay.
All right. I feel like it's possible we can get to the level where talent supersedes imagery, whatever.
Yeah.
But a woman, the content has to be different. Okay. First of all, because you can't be someone like Adele and trying to, portray sex and sing about just sexiness and all of that. Because then
I disagree because
big
girls are having sex and all that.
Of course, no, you can speak like. Remember what Jill Scott did?
Yeah.
Shout out to Jill Scott.
Showing her skills.
Yes, you can. If you're doing that, you can speak about it. But my thing is, if you trying to portray those certain lyrics and things like that, it's like you then asking people. Then people are gonna focus more on your image.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you kind of staring them in what direction you want them to go. Do you want them to pay attention to your content, or you want them to pay attention to what you look like? You see what I'm saying? So as long as the content changes to where, it is different and it's not just focusing on imagery wise. Because if you listen to content and music and stuff, it's all about how I look, what I got, how I look, what I got. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same.
You're not speaking about my intelligence or, most of the time they speak about what they've been through. And the most rappers and singers that I can relate to most is the ones that's rapping about what they've been through. Yeah. Life experiences, what made you who you are. That's superficial stuff.
It has expiration date to that.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the next topic. It's a little more serious, so I hope you're prepared for that.
I'm ready.
And it's called Sins of Our Past, right? Because it's a strong movement of America trying to act like the things that they were doing wrong didn't happen. They're changing our history books to kind of like, like when we had the cancel culture coming for Christopher Columbus, now they're trying to kind of change the way they do the story. Now, the latest hot topic for the presidential 2020 is reparations. How
reparations
are we
is due.
Because after we bombed Japan, Japanese Americans were interned, and then when they were freed, they were given compensation. We had compensation for the Irish Americans in America and different segments of the population.
The
Native Americans that suffered certain, injustices in the past. Yeah. But now that people are saying, so what about the African Americans and the descendants of African Americans? Politicians are saying, well, nobody's alive that was part of that movement, so it's kind of tough to go back and retroactively
bullshit,
right? So so the first question is, American politicians are taking a stance that reparations aren't required because people who formed these sins aren't around. Is this privilege driven or fair? Are they allowing their privilege to be like, well, you know what, that happened in the past, we need to just forget about it and move on? But other people who had injustices in America were given not complete retribution, but given a leg up. And I feel like African Americans never had that leg up. So go ahead. Let
me start with this one. Okay. Of course, it's not fair. Okay. If you want to say something like that, it's bullshit. It's pure bullshit. Because the same people that you just spoke about that received reparations, it didn't take place against them. It took place against their ancestors, and the people who did it to them, it was ancestors.
These people financially have benefited, and now they're reaping the benefits of that.
Absolutely. Wow. The thing with us, and I feel this is clear to me anyway why they teach a certain way in school. You know, why they don't teach the history of slavery the way they should, if they even mention it at all in history class. Because honestly, you look at an American history class, you would think this country was founded on just beautiful civil war, and that was it. That was the only thing. Another, slavery, what was that? But until they're willing to accept and be like, we know this country was built on the back of black men, black women. Exactly. If you can't accept that, you of course ain't gonna want to give us any kind of reparations. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like they have to come to terms with what was done, and not just say, okay, well that was done and we're sorry, but this is a reason why we have a leg up on you guys. You know what I mean? It's like it's a race. You got a 50-meter head start and a 100-meter dash.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Who's gonna win?
So what do you think about this topic? It don't necessarily the reparations, but just us as a country not accepting our past and acting like they want us to acknowledge the history of us being independent and fighting Britain for our, independence or taxation without representation and stuff. But it feels like the when our hands got dirty, all of a sudden it's just like, well, let's skip over that part.
Get over it.
What do you feel about that?
Honestly, get over it. I feel like they dishonor your ancestors, the slaves that they built this country, the United States. They don't give them the acknowledgement that's needed. They were on their own hands and building things, and were being tortured by their slave masters. And I feel like it's so an insult to you guys, because it's like, oh, here's a little check. Okay, your ancestors went through all this. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay, they went through.
Haven't you heard?
I know. I want to make sure. No. FCC up in here,
but people always.
I don't want to be like, oh, violent, But no, seriously, I feel like they just disrespect you guys, your family, your ancestors, because of the fact that it's like, come on, oh, here's a little lousy check. Okay, they went through it. They finally got property, and they gave them a little land, and they should be happy about it.
Even the 40 acres and a mule, that never really happened.
It's crazy. Yeah, they don't. It's just an insult to you guys.
It's like the same.
You guys, you Puerto Rican, right?
I'm Puerto Rican. What half? I'm mixed. Yeah.
Okay, so
I got some in me too.
It's you too. Don't say you guys.
You forgive me. I didn't mean to say that way.
But Puerto Rico is still going through shit, right?
Yeah.
The way Trump, that's handling it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Puerto Rico's still going through.
They dissed on us too.
Christopher Columbus is bullshit.
They raped our people.
The statue. Yeah. And I was watching. She's Gotta Have It, and they talked about this because they went to Puerto Rico. They just put a statue up, not just put it, but in by the World Trade Center or whatever, Christopher Columbus and
50th Street,
they was taking, because remember we went through the whole thing of them taking statues down.
I remember that.
You know, Confederates and all of that, but Christopher Columbus was on some bullshit. Like, we celebrate him. Yeah, you know, he gets the day off, but it's on some
careful with
bullshit.
all the.
No, but
he's
I'm just saying, this is our history. This is the history that they teach our kids, because they only want them to see one side.
So what do you think about America not acknowledging the sins of their past?
It's like, I mean, it's just like a situation America wants you to just go on like, oh, forget about your history, because some people to this day don't acknowledge Obama was a president for 8 years. That's right. So some people would not tell their kids, you didn't, for 8 years, you didn't have
happen. I wasn't here.
For 8 years, you didn't have a president. So it's the same thing. So society, and the reason why is the school system, certain things like February is only Black History Month is the shortest month, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
to drop a little knowledge of that, it doesn't.
It doesn't play.
It felt like the shortest month, and people always joke about that. But it was the history of like Negro History Week and stuff like that. They chose Black History Month, to be honest with you, not because it was the shortest month of the year, but it was the month that Lincoln was born, and Lincoln freed the slaves.
Oh, okay.
But
it's
just
that was
the
should
driving
be June.
point of it.
We got Juneteenth. I just celebrated.
Yes.
June. It should be June.
That probably should have been a selection, but
instead
at the
it's
time,
Pride Month.
At the
And
time,
much respect to
they
our
chose
Pride.
because
Right.
Lincoln.
But it should be June.
I wanted to say that because I've always heard that story, and I do feel like we get shortchanged.
I didn't
but
know.
It's because Lincoln
That's
was
why they
born.
selected
But
February.
society is just more like, okay, you just got to go with the flow. Let's forget about your past. That's what I think.
So the next topic on America not, acknowledging their sins, right? Mm-hmm. We have been known to fund terrorists in other countries for years. Oh, yeah. We funded, as ironic as it is, we funded Cuba and a lot of these places before the Cold Wars and certain things like
we
that.
funded Saddam for many years.
Exactly.
We put him in
Even,
power.
We fund terrorists in other countries, and now we suffer from mass shooting repairs every couple of weeks. Is this a sign of our past as a country coming back to us? Because now the terrorists in our countries are white men with guns.
Facts.
For a big portion of it.
Yeah.
If I may speak on this,
Yes.
as a member of the military,
Yes.
I don't feel like the terrorist situations and stuff like that has anything to do with this here. The past, our sins of past coming back. I just feel like this is who our country is.
Yeah.
This country was founded on violence and blood and, guns is a big part. The NRA is one of the most powerful organizations in this country.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, this is what we teach. We see our children. I watch my cousins play these video games, and it's like, it's just violence, guns, violence,
Wow.
Black Ops,
Black Ops.
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Halo, whatever. It's always somebody shooting and blowing somebody up. You know what I mean? So, like we was talking about with imagery, it doesn't matter what a person's saying to you. Well, not that it doesn't matter, but with what you're seeing, you're absorbing just the same, maybe even more so. You absorbing that, and it's like we become numb to that.
So,
And
so
these-
let me double down on what the question I'm asking, right? Because we make this big, like Bush Jr. and even Trump, a big portion of their platforms were fighting terrorism, keeping terrorists out of this country, this, that, and the other. But domestic terrorism would like turning a blind eye to.
Because it looks like them. You know that. Come on,
But that's
bruh.
what I'm saying,
You
like-
know that. That we don't have a problem with the domestic terrorists because the domestic terrorists don't look like you, don't look like me. They don't look like an Indian man or the turbaner. They look like Mr. Smith down the block.
Oh my god.
You know?
So what do you
Little-
think about that? Us avoiding domestic. It's kind of a deep topic, but us
Yeah.
kind of looking the other way with domestic terrorism, but like going gun ho on terrorism outside. That looks from outsiders. What do you feel about that?
Honestly, I feel like, this country is going through enough stuff as it is. And then with the things you mentioned with the Columbine and all the things with the guy that killed the kids in Connecticut.
Yeah.
That was a while back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the kids. Oh, that was terrible.
That
man.
broke me to pieces.
Yeah.
And I feel like, honestly, seeing these things now happening in our own backyard, I feel like the law enforcement is not doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke. They arrest minorities like ourselves
Yeah.
and lock us up for years. And then, those, blue collar, what do you want to call them? They get a slap in the wrist. Okay, you community service, and that's about it.
Or
You
he was
know?
crazy.
Yeah.
He was troubled, right?
Yeah, I remember.
How do
That's
you
the only-
address that?
that's
when,
the only
when a
time-
person looks
Yeah.
like you, how do you address that?
You know what it is?
You know?
The problem is, right? The fact that a person does look like them. What they do is they automatic because they always say he had mental health. He had
That's what I'm saying. It's always
Because
mental health.
He had mental health issues, right?
Wow.
When me and you go out tomorrow and we go empty out of school.
We don't do that.
Oh no, we don't do that. But what I'm saying is, if me and you, for example,
Yeah,
went out and
we
empty
did.
up a school, they would take two pictures where I had my hat backwards and I had my do-rag
yeah,
on
with
Facebook and posted. But then the kid goes and do that in the church, and then he goes, he had mental health issues. He's never been diagnosed. Now all of a sudden you realize everything is.
We pray for the victimizer then, and not the victims when
His
it's like
person,
that.
they always say now, this person has a big diagnosis. He had mental health issues. That's what the president come on. Oh, he had mental health issues. Dude, it's a big problem right now. We're not taking care of our mental health, people who need that. So it's just, they always find an excuse to make it feel like it's not acceptable, but the problem is we should have looked at his mental health before anything. Don't judge him on what he did.
I
Judge him
think
on
also
his mental health.
I think as a country, I think part of the school curriculum should now be mental health. I think kids should be evaluated. I think kids should come into their counselors and be like, "Are you being bullied? What's going on?" and stuff like that. I think in this country we're too reactive and not, proactive. Right? We're reactive. A school got to get shot up for now the counselors to start asking kids how you doing at home, how's everything going. Why do we wait for that to happen? Why can't we be proactive about it? Make mental health a conversation that we're having.
Let me bring a point to y'all with this. Okay, the majority of people in the country at this period in time is Caucasian, white males, white females, right?
Okay.
They realize that is changing fast, right? In the next maybe 10 to 20 years, they're going to be a minority. Yeah. The majority of the country is going to be minorities as a whole, right? Yeah. So they're not going to be the overwhelming majority. What are you going to do? What would you do in that situation when you see this happening? You like in defense mode, right? You would get in defense mode because you're like, oh, the power that you've been in for so long is about to change, and you don't want to release it. So
it's very ideal, right?
You can't expose yourself.
But it's very ideal to say that, right? But in a fair economy, in a fair workplace,
fair is a place like where they judge pigs. This is not fair.
I say that to say this, right? If you are skilled, if you are prepared to engage in where you want to be, you'll realize like the cream rise to the top. The problem is those people. When I say those people have been operating on privilege for so long, they're uncomfortable to be like, you know what, I want to put in that same kind of work, right? Right. You'll hear so many supremacist people and stuff and be like, oh, why don't everybody work hard and like I worked hard? But it's just like, look at your background. You had all of these damn resources. It wasn't that hard of a work that you had.
My dad only gave me $1 million loan to get started, all right?
Exactly.
I had to work hard.
Trump's biggest thing is his dad only gave him $3 million and he built an empire. Mm-hmm. A lot of us dads gave us debt.
I wish I got that, man.
A lot of us dads gave us debt. Shit, a lot of us had to come on and then help our moms because our mom's been in debt all life. So I never got the mentality to focus on business. I focused on trying to get my mom's help or my little brother help. Exactly. I didn't have the mentality of. A lot of us had to start working when we was in high school to really pay bills, not money for our pockets.
But like I said, it's a topic that is going to be frustrating in at all times, right? But Fox 5 all the time, right? That's why I get the mental health is when the white kids do that, they automatically go, you know, he had a lot of mental health issues. Automatically, that plays a part, right?
Because when the victim
it's true, but it's not the whole story.
No, it's not the whole. It's not the story at all. It's not the story that this kid's been frustrated. He just said, today I'm going to take everybody out. It's automatic. We say mental health so everybody could feel good about themselves because they're trying to figure out what's going on. Right? But they're not going to say it on TV.
But if you say mental health, it's like, okay.
If you say mental health and explain that, now it's something where you're like, oh, yeah, we understand that. You're right. We should do it. But when me and you do it, it's more like, see, they're at it again.
He's a bad apple.
No. They're at it again. Those are the kind of words.
So let me wrap up this topic, right? Is democracy something where the lines are being blurred now, right? Because America's selling point was land of the brave, home of the free. Mm-hmm. But we don't give democracy equally to everybody in this country. That's right. So are we still the democratic republic that we quote unquote claim to be? What do you think?
Okay, now I gotta mention this because we were talking about these situations. I have to bring this up because have you guys seen the documentary? It was like a parts of it of When They See Us.
Yes. We've been talking about it every week.
Okay, so I had to put my
Ava DuVernay.
I didn't see all parts of it, but I saw the first part. But
it's very heartfelt and very touching. And what they did to them was very wrong. Miss Fairstein, I think.
Lisa Fairstein.
Yeah, she double crossed them and she went out and she attacked them and they had no fault whatsoever with that lady, the jogger, that happened, got raped and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I feel like what you just mentioned, I want to bring that into that, what you're asking. With that, with the democracy for me and all that, because I feel like at the end of the day nobody's getting justice. Everybody's getting scrutinized, everybody's getting discriminated. Why can't we just live in life in a peace in the world? Like, let's live love, let's just have a good time, you know?
It's tough, right? Because it goes back to the privilege where it's just like when someone doesn't look like someone representing the justice system, there's no sympathy.
Exactly. Those in power are on the defense.
Think about it.
So they're playing defense.
Just to confirm what you just said, so many times when someone of non-color creates these acts, we feel sorry for him. He was a lone wolf and stuff like that. No one says something when a minority is arrested for something. His home was broken. His dad wasn't there. His mom had drug problems. Let's feel sorry for them. We vilify that.
The problem is when somebody that happens, we don't even do the research to find out what's going on. Mm-hmm. Automatically, I'm not even say these people. I'm not trying to just put it out there like that. Automatically, the research is going to be done. When that person shoot up the church and stuff, the research is going to be done. You're going to know from when it started, from 10 years old, where he showed signs, and this is what happened. when stuff happens to minorities, it's just more like, yeah, like, you know, he was a troubled kid. He used to be in this gang. He used to be in that gang. The research is not being done, so it's a sticky situation. It's one of the situations
I think
where
democracy is one of the principles of this country that we
tough.
don't uphold to. It's very right. So we're coming towards the end of the show. We're gonna do the last topic, and then we're gonna give you a chance to plug yourself again. Let people know your social medias, how they can reach out to yourself.
Yeah.
So this topic is called "If You Owe Me, Pay Me." Right?
Ooh, sounds good.
Let me start this one.
Now wait.
Let the
Right,
guest start.
and because we've known for a long time, right? I'll even let you run point guard on this, right?
Okay.
But a lot of times, and like he said, 50 Cent has this movement where it's just like, if you owe 50 Cent, he letting you know, right? So go ahead, run point guard on that.
Yeah, no, with 50's whole thing on IG and social media, like, people don't want to owe him. If you owe him money, he gonna expose you, put you on blast.
And we go through that with our friends too. I have friends right now ducking me over money, and I'm just like,
yeah, you know firsthand.
Awkward.
I think we all know firsthand whether you loan money to somebody or, you know, even if you borrow money. So the first question under this topic is, what is the most money you feel comfortable loaning someone? We need quick answers because we get to the end of the show. Just
$5.
that's the most money you can loan.
Listen, man, they gotta pay me
Times is
back.
hard.
Right now, my limit used to be, I can loan someone close to me like $500. Okay. But then I just realized, like, yo, that's almost a car payment for me. Now I can only give you $1. If you need more than $1, you got to go to somebody else.
When it comes to family,
$1 is $100 for dough, not $1. No,
when
$100.
When it comes to family, I can do about $3K.
Yeah.
Okay. Right?
That's family.
Balling?
No, it's not about being balling. I can do about $3K. With friends, I don't let friends hold money like that because it's a sticky situation. Because the problem is sometimes you might let a friend hold it and then he want to move the same way you move it and you forgot he owe you that money. Yeah. So I don't lend money if I know I can't afford to get it back.
Yes, that's the key. That's the key.
I don't lend the money if I can't afford to get it back.
It can be even stickier with family, though.
3K is enough money. No, 3K is enough money where I can wipe my hands with you and then say like this.
And that's why our pockets is different, right? Because he said 3K. me, it's $100. $100 is a nice date between me and my wife. So when you owe me $100 and you don't pay me, I'm like, shit. Me and my wife can't go out one time.
My thing is just like what Cliff said. My mother taught me this. You never loan somebody more than you can afford to lose. Okay?
Yeah.
So because there is always the event that they can't pay you back or won't pay you back. Yeah. And then what you doing? I'm just paying to get rid of you. That was my payment to get rid of you. You can't pay me back, I pay to get rid of you.
My biggest thing is when you borrow the money with a different energy that you want to pay me back with.
That's always the case.
That's always the case.
If you came to me humble to borrow the money, even if you don't have the money yet, still keep that same humbleness. Don't be, you're stinking $100. It wasn't stinking when you asked to borrow it.
You shouldn't let anybody hold the money if you can't lose it. So don't let nobody hold the money if you know it's gonna hurt you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Only let the money know that take it as a loss if you're not getting it back.
The worst thing is when people want to count your money, be like, you don't need that money. Why are you stressing me over it?
Oh wow.
Was I donated that money or did I work for that money? But go ahead.
My favorite one is when you see them like in the hood. Oh yeah, I'll pay you next week, and they be with the jewelry up the ass, and you're like, yo, bro, I have my last $10. I gotta take the train. Yeah. I got you next week.
Now I'm gonna start saying like, yo, I need to hold that chain until you get my money back.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be a pawnbroker. Let me hold that watch until you give me that money back.
No, you're right.
All right.
That made him bring all his stuff back.
Quick answers here.
Oh my God.
All right. So what's the most money you borrowed from someone, not the bank?
I borrowed $1,000 from my mom.
Okay.
But I paid her back.
Go ahead, dude.
I think like 200, but I did pay back eventually, increments.
I had someone I invested with them like 6 G's, and then they paid me back like $500 a month for like a long ass time.
Damn.
That shit screwed me, right? Because the 6 G's straight up was supposed to make a move. That $500 a month.
Yo, that's crazy.
He's still mad about that.
You blow that.
You still talking about it? Yeah.
I think I borrowed like $500. I paid it back. Yeah, $500 is the most I
borrowed about $800 to $1,000. It was right before I was going to Hawaii, out in the Bronx. They put a boot on my goddamn car, literally days before I was supposed to leave. And someone, she knows who she is, hooked me up with the little loan. I got it back to her within a week. But the fact that I was like, yo, I don't like to borrow money.
Yeah, because
I don't like to owe people. But if I borrow money, you know you're gonna get it back quickly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to my grandma. Grandma's the worst person to owe. Grandma's worse than the bank.
They will remind you.
But she'll give it to you no problem. But getting it back, yo, I be ducking grandma like, I'll get you. I'll let you, grandma. I'll get you next week. I want to know.
Ask your last question so that we can wrap
All
up.
right, so the last one on this topic. Who was the worst person you borrowed money from and why? I just expressed who it was. What?
To be honest with you, anybody who knows me know I'm a sensitive person. So I have never borrowed money from anyone that made me feel bad about it. Because anyone knows me like, yo, I will not eat to make sure I got your money back and then I could be comfortable. Last thing I want to be is like, I'm at a restaurant. You like, yo, why you at such? You should be at McDonald's so you can get my money back. I don't want to be clocked.
Wow.
What about you?
My ex-mother-in-law, she kept hangering me on Facebook. Yo, when you gonna pay me back? And I'm like,
Facebook?
On Facebook. And I'm like, and then she started putting posters. And I'm like, can you? I'm sorry.
wow.
Can you like not really put my business out there? Like it's a thing called inbox. You know?
See?
Yeah.
You see?
Never
we
again.
live in what they call receipt culture. Where people will try to publish receipts to make you look bad. What about you?
I don't borrow. Like honestly, I think the only person I would borrow money from was my brother, but I haven't borrowed money from somebody in a long time.
Yeah, you've been. That's a blessing.
good.
That's a
You
blessing
got
to
to.
be in that situation. You know. So that's going to wrap up the regular portion of the show. We want to give Vero G,
Aw.
Divas and Diamonds on Instagram.
Can I ask her a question?
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
Can you display some of your talent? Or
See,
do you
I
wanna-
knew, so I was like waiting for this moment.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen. Just a
Some
little
of
bit,
the,
a
they
little
don't have to be on
bit.
the
Yeah,
topic.
it
It could be
a
written.
little
You
bit.
know, whatever you got.
Okay, and
Just let the
Display
people
some of
see
your
it.
talent so people can hear.
Ooh, okay, no music, so just straight acapella.
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 I got this one for you guys. It's a slow jam. It's called Summertime.
Okay.
It's a jazz song. All right,
Okay.
you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Summer time and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your mama's rich and your daddy's handsome. I messed it up. So hush, little baby, and don't you
That's right. Go ahead.
cry. Thank you.
Yeah. And you know, I want to give you props on.
You see how?
Because we got to see the range.
Yeah.
You didn't get to warm up.
Nah,
You didn't drink no juice.
No.
I give you props for that.
Nico, baby.
I give you props for that. I give you props for that.
Thank you, baby.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
You see, sometimes you gotta be put on the spot.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I was ready. I was like,
I was
Because-
coming after you.
And let me tell you why I didn't do that, right? Because singing, I know you need preparation and
Yeah,
stuff like
vocal.
that. It's
Nice.
when we have hip hop artists, it's easy for me to tell them like, "Yo, spit 16" because that's just regular voice. But singing,
I had
you got
to.
it. But
I
you
had
did it.
to.
You did it.
Good
I
job.
appreciate
Well,
that. I
thank
appreciate that. I should let them know.
I love it. Support.
Thank
Yeah, yeah.
Much
Vero
love
G.
it.
But
Wow, yes.
You plug your stuff before
Okay.
we head out.
Okay, so quickly, guys, this is my debut album. It's been like over a year ago. Big shout out to my music producer, Q Breeze. We worked on this amazing album. It's called Trials and Tribulations. Everybody's watching on, checking it out right now.
Yeah.
Point it to the screen so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
It's
Well, she
listen.
put it to her camera.
I'm doing it 50 cent status, so I don't have a car, but if you want to hit me up on all my information, I could definitely hand it to you in person, so all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Again, guys, we have July 10th, the Vero G Spotlight TV show is the taping, and we're so honored. And August 17th, the West End Lounge. Check that out, guys, if you're interested for the Cypher or for the just regular showcase we have.
Yeah.
Also, Broken Dreams. A big shout out to Real Lyrics. We just did that video about domestic violence.
Yeah.
And you got to check it out. We have over 2.k views on that alone.
Yeah.
I loved it. Also, check out Coming From Mine, which is my latest single for my upcoming album, sophomore album,
Yeah.
which is coming this year. The Rise of Vero Vero G. I'm saying a lot right now, right?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Go
whoa.
ahead.
No,
Yeah.
you
I'm
said
like trying to
time.
squeeze everything in. But it's coming this year. Check it out. It's a big shout out to Scarface. That's my main. I love that movie, by that way. So yeah, it's
Love
over.
Scarface.
Yeah, definitely. It's over 3.5K views on Facebook, YouTube. Forgive me. So you guys gotta check it out. My YouTube channel, real quickly, social media now, is VERO 2884 or Vero G Music on YouTube. My Facebook, you guys know already. Artist page Vero G.
Yeah.
I'll just check my website, www.verogmusic.com altogether. Also, I'm honored to be the brand ambassador for so many people, but one of them is www.beoriginalwear.com. I'm one of the brand ambassadors, and he has my merchandise there, so check it out, guys. I love you all.
yes.
My motto is always believe in yourself, and thank you guys so much again.
Definitely.
And big shout out to you and my son, my management. I love you all.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. What about you, Cliff? Give a shout out before we head out.
Just shout out to everybody who's supporting us. You know, we had a big week this week, Charlamagne and God, plugging the podcast. But
Black
you know
men
what?
don't cheat.
You know what it is?
Yeah,
It's not even about the plug. It's just a matter of hard work and dedication. Just keep working hard because somebody's gonna believe in you.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
That's right.
Yeah, it's good to be seen, you know. So it's glad that we were seen by Charlamagne and by all of the people that watch us. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to my cousin. We're going to try to get him on the show soon. Showtime. He has an album out called Love Truth. Look it up.
Okay.
R&B singer. He's doing his thing. We had a video shoot a couple weeks ago out at the crib. That's it, man. People just keep doing what you're doing. Come, tune in to us so we can show you that love y'all need and put y'all on to what's going on.
So I just want to say, like I always say, shout out to everybody, support us. Shout out to everyone who has a dream and they're chasing a dream. And like God has a funny way of showing you, like, keep working, right? Like I said, like Clifford mentioned, the plug from Charlamagne to God, and it was just something simple of like, me tagging him to something that we were talking about, and he loved the conversation, and he doubled down, right? So he shared the conversation on his story, and then the next day he brought it to the radio, right? No plug. I didn't give him no money or nothing like that.
That's what my sister asked. She was like, y'all paid her?
No money, no plug. It's genuine. Hold on, let me finish that. It's genuine love. He felt what we was doing. He felt the energy of the conversation that we was having, and he's like, yo.
That's what
He even didn't remember the name of the podcast, but he took effort to look for it to give us a shout out. That shows you God was just like, yo, give them that push. Yeah. And even if a million people don't come to know what we're doing, God gave us that time to say, look, keep working. I see what you're doing. Go ahead. Because we're running over time.
No, just thank you for the artists. I put the artists on the spot. Your voice sound amazing.
Yes.
Support. And then, like I said, we're just trying to build a brand, and then just support us every week. Thank you for everybody for tuning in.
Just keep working, everybody. Yeah. We out. Views from the friend zone. Peace.
Bye. I don't know.
I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Welcome to another edition of the View.
Okay, careful, guys. Yeah.
So we can kind of see the on air. So we'll split, right? We'll split. You come with me.
Okay.
He's gonna let us see the on air.
Oh, okay, wait.
He's gonna go from here.
No different.
I'm just here, man. Okay, so just going on with it.
You can make sure you see the scene.
Deuces, baby. Yeah.
4, 3, 2. I'm getting a couple for y'all.
Oh, word. Okay.
It's some angles. Cool.
Thank you.
Yes. Take me.
So,
An honor,
We
guys.
didn't drink
definitely.
enough of this.
Oh,
You wanna
man.
take some. You can take it with you.
Yes, you can. Oh,
Yes,
this
yes,
is
yes.
really good. Oh, the top. Yeah, yeah.
Your top.
I'll be in the train. Excuse me, ma'am. You got some liquor? No, I do not. That's some water. Oh, this I don't know. Wait, how do you do this? Wait.
Push it back.
Oh, Jesus. Wait. Okay, I'm not a pro in this.
I'm trying to think. Yo, Mike, how do you think we could do this to
What's up?
so she could take that with her?
Nah, you gonna have to.